Welcome to the Wackadoodle News, broadcasting high above the glistening Sclabangy building. I'm your host, Marty D'Angelo, so welcome to the show.
Hello.
Jesse, this is Marty. I was hoping to get a sit rep on Oroville.
Yeah, I had to be careful because I was being watched.
Okay.
But I got some footage on the back side. I got the footage on the front side.
Awesome.
But, yeah, I'm going to be heading out now.
All right, we'll see you back here shortly at the office.
Yeah, I'm at the visitor center right now. I talked to a guy that was over at a restaurant because I've been traveling up and down these streets trying to find a closer look at the lake. And he says, "Oh, no, it's closed." I said, "Well, how do you get to the lake?" He said, "Good luck with that."
Wow.
The best thing to do is to go to the marina. So.
Okay, well, be safe.
Hey guys, Marty here, May 12th, 2019, and we're not the only ones who are concerned about the Oroville Dam.
I'm getting communications from people up in your area that tell me the Oroville Dam is mission critical. The water levels are higher, the runoffs are going to increase with the rising temperatures. The main spillway is completely compromised. Where do we start with all this?
As you were saying before, that things are not being as advertised from the California Department of Water Resources and the state of California. This is something that has been repeatedly told to us and told to the public boldly and strongly that this would never happen. And here it is. We're just really less than 20 feet from it happening. And clearly, everybody in the state of California, anybody in the world has been bald-faced lied to by the California Department of Water Resources. And you look at the way they've lied, what they've done, the way they rolled out the whole spillway situation. You really have to wonder if this isn't criminal, a very big criminal act right going on. But we hope that it's not. We hope that I can wake up tomorrow and the spillways, really rushing the water out at 150,000 cubic feet per second. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So, and by the way, looking at the rate of water that would have to come off the spillway right now or tomorrow to try and prevent the overtopping would probably mean they'd have to be at that 150,000 cubic feet per second. And right now they can't even run 1,000 feet off of it.
What do you mean they can't run 1,000 feet off of it? And 1,000 feet is compared to what?
Well, 1,000 cubic feet per second, it doesn't look like they can even run that much, let alone 150,000. And by the way, the dam was designed for 269,000 cubic feet per second. That's what the spillway was designed for. Now, this is the spillway that actually ruptured in 2017 on February 7th when the plates on the spillway popped out because there was water built up behind the spillway through the mountain that had seeped through from the Lake Oroville through the mountain to the spillway. It popped it out. When they started running water over the spillway, it creates a suction very similar to like a foil on an airplane wing. When the air goes over the top of it, it creates lift. It does the same thing with water over the top of the spillway. It creates lift, and when it did that, it sucked a lot of water in from the dam behind it through the soil and pushed out the plates, and it created a huge hole, and that huge hole created a canyon, literally, and we almost lost the dam by February 12th. And we're in a very similar situation right now. We've never been this high on the spillway or under these circumstances. It has gone to this level before, but under these circumstances, never before. Right now, there really is a damaged spillway because when they opened up and built the spillway and replaced it, they didn't do some fundamentals, and that was to repair or prevent the water from seeping from the lakeside through the mountainside to the back of the spillway. So when you have water seeping through like that, it creates a lot of pressure behind it. And when you run the water over the spillway, you can see what happens. You get a combination of water pressure sucking it up and water pressure from behind pushing it out. And so when they rebuilt the spillway, they spent $1.5 billion doing this. Mountains of concrete and rebar and everything They had a big dramatic opening on April 2nd, and they brought the amount of water down. They started it out very slowly at 2,000 to 4,000 and working it up, which is a pretty good way to do things. And pretty soon they started running more and more water over it, and some people say they started to test it. They actually advertised that they would be doing some testing on it, and they came out that said maybe some of the levels would be as high as 60,000 cubic feet per second on the test. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, they ran it over time, and they started getting a lot of harmonic vibrations underneath the dam itself, which meant that the soil was liquefying underneath it and drawing in a lot of water. And we filed a lawsuit at the time because we wanted them to cease using explosives around the spillway as part of their construction project, and because that created a lot of vibrations and so on, so much so that the United States Geological Survey actually had recordings of small earthquakes that were recorded, very clearly recorded by the USGS around the exact same spots where these explosions had been set during the construction. Well, that weakens the soil, the actual soil that they were building the spillway on. And of course, when you brought the water over, when you built the spillway, you brought the water over, you created the vibrations. It just served as a way to take the harmonic, the harmonic vibrations, and basically shake the spillway. And what happened was, when they started driving the water at such a high rate, above 10 to 15,000, it appears as if, and we have real good reason to believe, based upon our research and people that we've talked to, that what it did is that these vibrations really started to shake the plates that are on the very top of the dam, which is really reinforced concrete. It's quite a marvel, actually, but the pressure building behind created lift and air underneath the spillway, combined with water, started causing some up and down movement and sideways movement on the spillway, from what we've been told. And basically, it's the way it looks now is there's buckled plates and lots of leaks. Anybody can go on the park system and see the leaks in the spillway. It's massive. And again, spillways are not supposed to be leaking when the water is in the pool behind it. The other part of the problem is the head gates, the radial gates, that they're called tainter gates, a type of radial gate that moves up and down. They're supposed to, when the water rises up to the spillway, those gates are closed, and when they want to release water from the pool or the lake, of course, they lift those gates. Well, those gates have been damaged for a long time. They were damaged at the time 2 years ago, and they leak like crazy, and they're very difficult to work up and down because they've never been repaired properly. They never rebuilt those in this $1.1 billion project. And so now they're seriously damaged too. So you have a failed system in the dam, and which is, of course, the spillway system right now as it stands.
Wow, you said a mouthful, and it's so concerning what's going on here.
Yes, it is, Dave. It's very concerning. And it's very concerning for the people who live down below the dam. And we're going to hear from them in our next video. You guys have a good evening. God bless.